What's up, guys? We're here back with another game for y'all this week. This week we're doing the Don't Laugh Challenge Dad Jokes Edition. We got Caleb and Paige facing off head-to-head, and it's pretty self-explanatory. The goal is to not laugh. Each one will get a turn telling a joke and try to make the other one laugh. So let's get into it. Here we go.
How do billboards talk?
Tell me.
Sign language.
You gotta do better than that. When the mystery machine breaks down, who has to fix it? Scooby-Doo.
It's not a good one. Gotta try harder, Paige. Hey, Paige. Why did the rapper thank the sidewalk in his acceptance speech?
Let me think about it. I don't know.
Because it kept him off the streets.
Okay, now that just was bad.
It-
What do you call 5 Siths piled on top of each other?
I don't know.
A Sith kebab.
Got it under control over there, Paige? What do you call a drummer with no girlfriend?
A drummer with no girlfriend. A man who lives in his mother's basement.
No, homeless.
A drummer with no girlfriend.
Yeah.
You call him homeless?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My sister just got her real estate license. Now she's my homegirl.
What kind of hair do they sell at IHOP, Paige?
Hair at IHOP?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Enlighten me.
Egg extensions.
Have you ever heard of propaganda?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what it is?
Mm-hmm.
It's when a British person takes a real good look at something. He takes a propaganda.
What did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet? Supplies!
What is the internal temperature of a tauntaun?
I don't know.
Lukewarm.
Did you hear about the journalist who spilled honey all over his papers? Did you hear about it?
No, I didn't hear about it. Was it in the news? Was it on CNN? I don't watch CNN.
He's got a room full of sticky notes.
Did I tell you about my dream last night?
No.
I had a dream about a muffler, like a car muffler. I woke up exhausted. What?
I made a pencil with 2 erasers.
You made a pencil with 2 erasers.
It's totally pointless.
It was totally pointless. See, when you told me that, I wasn't picturing a pencil with an eraser on each end. I was picturing a pencil that like forked at the end and had 2 erasers. What do you call a group of whales playing instruments?
Orchestra. Man, Paige, you always make fun of me for my body hair. I always used to hate facial hair. It just kind of grew on me. I don't know why you agreed to this, but I honestly really love telling dad jokes.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes he laughs.
Which
Not Virginia.
program do Jedi use to open PDF files?
Actually, on it.
Adobe Wan Kenobi.
It's not funny to me because you can't open PDFs with Adobe.
Oh, it's your turn.
Mm-hmm. What does Spanish clock say?
What?
Tic taco.
TikToko! What does a dinosaur use to pay his bills? Tyrannosaurus chicks.
Thank you for that joke. Much obliged. What's one thing a homeless man can't be? A homeowner.
I don't trust stairs. They're always up to something. Let's make an entire segment.
That's the end of the video because Caleb's leaving.
Bye. We'll just put it in the outtakes. No one will watch them. No one will get that far. And if they do, they'll be in for a pleasant surprise.
Paige, why? Why?
You're
Why
laughing.
is that what gets you?
So are you gonna include every single time we laugh?
Yeah, y'all are gonna be like third.
What?
What kind of...
If you don't get the, why would you say it if you didn't get the joke? Alright, come here, closer.
Oh, I have to get closer?
That's going to the outtakes.
Oh, yeah.
He let out a, see, he's laughing.
It's not good. It's not good.
Why, it's funny, they're dad jokes.
I hate
You
that
ever
jokes.
heard Chris tell those jokes? That's really funny!
That's a good joke, Caleb.
It is. That's a good joke, Caleb.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I am so glad that you have joined us tonight on Crosswalk live stream. Normally, I'm joined by Mitchell, but he is actually out of town this week at his brother's wedding. So, filling in for Mitchell, I have two incredible students that I want you to say hi to. Everybody say hi to MC and Zane. Woo!
Hey guys.
Hi.
So, what exactly have you two been up to all summer long? It's been a little cray-cray.
I have been up to a bunch of cheering and dancing, just kind of chilling around the house, swimming, all that good stuff. I've had surgery.
You had surgery?
I had my wisdom teeth taken out, which really hurt, but it's okay. And I mean, that's about it for me. I mean, just growing in my faith.
So when you get your wisdom teeth taken out, are you wiser or dumber?
I don't think it doesn't affect you. It just, I mean, you learn to take care of your teeth.
So your ACT score doesn't go down because your wisdom teeth come out.
No, sir. Your
Okay.
wisdom teeth are more of a pain in the booty than anything,
So
basically.
teeth are located in the booty. All right, very good. Zane, what have you been up to this summer?
Well, I didn't have surgery, but well, I've just been like, hanging around, just catching up on like practicing, relaxing. Believe it or not, I actually just got a car too, which is pretty cool.
Oh, really? Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, it's pretty great sitting outside right now. I don't know, but yeah, that's mainly what I've been doing for the past few months.
Okay, well, very, very cool. Do you guys enjoy that Dad's Jokes video? Paige
That
and
was
Caleb did a
great.
good
Yes,
job on
yes.
that. Yeah, I thought that was really, really funny. All right, so here's the deal. We've been basically reopening youth services for the last 2 weeks. We started on Sunday nights, kind of take it slow, and we kind of called it Ignite because we think God is about to ignite or start something new. And so the last two Sunday nights at 7 o'clock, we've met in the gym, and it's just been great, guys. This coming Sunday night, we actually have it's going to get better because we have invited Cody Van Syke, who is a worship leader at First Baptist Church in Geyer Springs. He was going to lead us at camp this summer, but camp got canceled. Boo. So we thought we'd bring him in, and he's just going to lead us in worship this summer. Some of you may remember Cody from a couple of years ago. He led worship at Tune Up Weekend. So MC, Zane, Y'all have both been on Sunday nights. I know not everybody watching probably has. So tell everybody what's going on Sunday. What's your perspective? How are things going?
I'm loving it. I mean, it is awesome. It's honestly just absolutely amazing. Especially Brandon's message was really good last week, and just the discussions that he has during it, like, they are absolutely amazing. The worship is really good, and just the time in prayer, we break off and go into groups and pray, and it's just so good. Like, it's truly good and rich time with the Lord. It's like, I can't even explain it. It's awesome.
Well, I think personally, like, Sunday nights is a really good time for, like, engaging with the community of the church, being around the church in a slightly quarantined area as much as we can, and being able to hang out with people. We get to pray, which is pretty cool. Like, praying by yourself, like, praying in a group is different than praying by yourself, is what I'm trying to say. You really get to should I say, bounce off each other a little bit more. But yeah.
So what I've been telling people is it is different. You're bringing your own chair. We're wearing masks, which I know everybody's like, oh my gosh, but we're able to do that's enabling us to be meeting in a room in a group. So it's really cool. So what would you guys say to a student maybe who hasn't been to anything, with our student ministry or in our church since honestly back in February when we had to kind of shut things down? What would you say to any students who hadn't been yet to maybe encourage them to be here Sunday night?
I would say, like, I strongly encourage you to come back. It is beyond words amazing. And I'm not just saying that. Like, it truly is really good time with the Lord. And it's just such a great time for us to be around each other, and it's super fun.
Yeah,
like,
it's good to just be in the room together.
Yeah, and like especially just talking to people, just kind of talking about how your faith has grown over Corona and all that stuff. It's really good. I encourage you to come. It is 100%. You will not regret coming. You are gonna love it.
Well, for next week especially, we're gonna have Cody there, and can't say enough good things about Cody.
That's
he's
right.
Good at, he's a great guy. He's good at worship ministry. I remember him 2 years ago, and that's not a lot of things I can say about some worship people.
Okay, we're not gonna go there.
That was an accidental.
Okay, we are live. Okay, so basically, students, we would love to have you back. Adult youth leaders. You don't have to be a Sunday night youth leader to come and be a part of this. And it's basically just being together. So come Sunday night. If you don't have a folding chair, it's fine. You can use one of the churches. We're just trying to limit the number of chairs we got to clean up afterwards. So we've got plenty of chairs. So you be here, bring your own Bible, and just get ready because God is up to something really, really cool. Now, speaking of Bible and messages, we're about to start a new series called Seasons, and it is all about different seasons of life that we go through. And so we put out on social media that basically, what is your favorite season and why? Okay, you're playing the message.
What this little guy
you need to go
right
back
here
to us.
on
All
your
right.
screen.
Hey, all right, here we go. We're not quite ready for the message
Back
yet.
to normal.
All right. Are we still on, Vincent? Okay. Are we unmuted? Okay. We'll get to the message in a minute. Here's the debate. This is a big debate. All right. You can put the graphic up on the screen. So here's the deal. Which is the best season and why is everybody else wrong? So I'm going to start with MC. MC, what is the best season? Spring, summer, winter, fall, and why is everybody else wrong?
Well, I want to note before I tell you my season, I personally love all the seasons because I feel like the Lord created it that way so that He can just remind us through every change in our life. He's going to continue to be who He's promised He is. So I love all of the seasons, and I love that. But I mean, I think mine, I really had to think about it. I think that mine would probably be spring because of Easter. I like spring because of Easter and just because of the victory and the freedom that's held within Easter. And I mean, spring, you have some pretty nice weather, but when it gets to May, it's just kind of bleh. But, I really like spring.
So we'll get to that in a minute. Zane, we'll argue in a minute. So you're spring. Zane, which is the best season and why?
Well, unlike MC, I actually don't like all the other seasons. I only like this one season, and I want it to be the season year round.
And that is?
I love winter, right? It's like the best season. You know, it's cold, it's chilly, got all the holidays on winter, just saying.
All of them? The 4th of July's in winter?
Well, only America celebrates the 4th of July. Everybody celebrates the winter holidays, if we're being honest here.
Okay, I guess.
But yeah, winter's the best. MC is gonna be wrong. She already is wrong.
Wow.
And I'm right.
Wow,
So-
y'all
Okay.
heard that? That was
all right.
brutal.
So here's my favorite season. My favorite season's fall because things start changing. It starts getting cooler eventually. It takes a little bit in Arkansas. The leaves start changing, s'mores, bonfires. I know I sound like a pagan trick-or-treating, but football. Hello, football.
Yes.
Love football. Friday night football. I love Saturday football. I love Sunday football. I love football, blitz ball, church. It's just good. I love the fall. Hoodies. You can wear hoodies in the fall, by the way, Zane, too. Hoodies is not a winter exclusive thing. All right. So here's my argument against the spring MC. Allergies.
Okay, just
Allergies. And number
Okay,
2, the Easter Bunny.
the Easter Bunny. You don't have to include the Easter Bunny. The Easter
Well,
Bunny's
So
gone.
Zane, why am I wrong and why is MC wrong?
Well, so I actually kind of agree with you. The Easter Bunny thing. He's like a low rate tier holiday person at best. I mean, listen.
Oh, a low rate. So it's basically Tooth Fairy Easter Bunny. Is that what you
Exactly.
I just said,
You
okay.
actually get money with the Tooth Fairy. What do you get?
Tooth Fairy Easter Bunny.
What do you get? Like a pink Tootsie Roll that nobody wants with like
I
the
would
Easter
not eat
No,
that.
you
Bunny?
get
I
the
don't
cute
think so.
eggs with the money inside
Cadbury
them.
eggs.
I don't know
yes,
what eggs
yes.
you got, but I didn't get any
All
extra
right.
money in them.
All right. MC, why are we wrong?
Okay, well, I will be honest. I am not a huge fan of the allergies in spring, but I can look past them because I love spring. I am a big time flower lover. Tulips in the house, y'all. But
Is that a band, Tulips in the House?
No, sir. Just
That's
tulips.
actually a pretty good
like,
band name.
You know, like the flowers you used to draw, and it looked like a U and then a little broken heart line. Anyways,
Okay, all right.
But I love spring.
All right,
and
we
I
can
think
talk
spring's
about
the
this
best.
for a long time, and y'all are probably tired of hearing us. So I want you to take a minute, and seriously, I want everybody to really listen to this lesson. It's not as long as the last few that I've done, I promise. I'm working and getting shorter, more concise. But listen to this, and we're going to come back at the end and talk about our biggest takeaway. So check out this message from our first week of seasons.
Hey students, I want to know if you know what this little guy is right here on your screen. Do you know what that is? Most likely you don't. So let me tell you what this is, okay? This is the AIM guy, the little AOL Instant Messenger guy. And you're like, what in the world is AOL and what in the world is Instant Messenger? Well, back in the day, when I was first starting out in youth ministry, that was one of the #1 ways teenagers communicated with each other. They would get on AIM, they would dial into AOL and get on this instant messenger that would pop up on their desktop, laptop, and they would chat with each other all night. This is way before you could text a lot of folks, and you had unlimited data plans on cell phones, and you had cell phones that had really cool screens. That's the way students communicated. Stories like this are a reminder that things change. What was important in one day is irrelevant in the next day. Fads come and fads go, and people come and go, and students' circumstances change. They come and go. How do you move forward in this season? How do you move forward when things unexpectedly change in your life? And there are times like we're going through right now where everybody is sharing the same season. This pandemic is beyond old. Tensions are high. Everyone seems to be frustrated. It's so hard to make plans. School's trying to make plans. Football, sports, professional athletics are trying to make plans. We're all trying to decide what to do. We're even trying to decide when can we reopen on Wednesday nights? What's it going to look like? It's hard to know. And I know many of you are asking questions. I know many of you are frustrated. Am I ever going to get to play ball again? Am I going to get to do cheer and dance? Can we just go back to church and not ever wear a mask? I want to give you some things to consider to help you get ready to move forward in this particular season that we're finding ourselves in right now. There are 3 things that we need to remember about this season. Number 1, there's a reason for this season. There's a season for everyone and everything under heaven. There's a time for this and a time for that. In the Old Testament, King Solomon, who's was David's son, wrote about the different seasons in life in the book of Ecclesiastes. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3, check this out. He says, "For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to turn away, a time to search and a time to quit searching, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be quiet and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace." Now, students, if you're really paying attention to what Solomon just said there and wrote, it probably bothers you a little bit, because there's some good things in that list and some not so good things in that list. The not so good things are like death and hating and giving up and all that. They're negative things. So how is that a comfort? How in the world is that good? There was a lady named Corrie ten Boom. She and her family helped many Jews escape the Holocaust in World War II. Eventually, she and her family were captured by Nazis and they were sent to a concentration camp. And Corrie ended up in that camp finding hope in Jesus Christ. She eventually escaped and down the road became a great witness for Christ in her latter years before she died. So in that time in her latter years, when she would be sharing her story of faith with others and speaking during speaking engagements and religious services, she would usually tell all kinds of awful stories, painful stories about her life. And then she would show the needlepoint she was currently working on because she loved needlepoint. She would hold up the backside. If you've ever done needlepoint or know anybody that has, you know on the backside there's a jumble mess of colors and threads with no discernible pattern. Corrie would hold that up and say, "This is how we see our lives." Sometimes it just doesn't make any sense. Then she would turn the needlepoint over to reveal the finished side, and Corrie would conclude by saying, "This is how God views your life, and someday we will have the privilege of seeing it from His point of view." Students, there's a reason for the season you're going through right now. And it probably doesn't make sense. There's a purpose, even in pain. And even though it may not make sense to you right now, and it may never make sense in this life, in a sense, there's some comfort knowing that there's a purpose. There's a reason for this season. God often does a lot of work in us in one season to prepare us for something that's coming in a different season. That's what He's doing right now in your life. You can trust in God and you can trust in His promises. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know," like it's a certainty, "that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to His purpose for them." Now, this doesn't say that everything is good, because it's not. But it does say that God can take everything and cause it to work together for good. God can take the bad in a season of life and He can use it for good in another season of life. Students, we need to trust God in this season. There's a second thing that you can remember to help you to get ready to move forward during this season. Number 2, there's an end to this season. It's going to end. So tell me, what is your favorite season of the year? Write that in the chat. Let me know. For me, it is definitely fall. I love football, cooler temperatures, hoodies, bonfires, s'mores. There's a lot of good things about fall, but I'll be honest with you, there's some not so good things about fall too. I've learned this: no matter what season is your favorite, it eventually changes. No season lasts forever. It's hard to believe that one day we're going to forget a whole lot more than we remember about this season where we were all sidelined because of COVID, because we're going to move on, because life moves on. And if you're going through a time where you're struggling or discouraged, the temptation is just to assume that it's always going to be like this, that things will never change, and things will never get better. And it's really easy to give up during those times. But I want to encourage you not to give up. It's always darkest before the dawn. It's always darkest sometimes right before there's going to change. And that's the time we need to trust God the most. This too shall pass. Look at what God says about the different seasons in the year. And this also applies to the different seasons in your life. In Genesis chapter 8, verse 22, God says, as long as the earth remains, there will be planting and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night. So God, in this context, in Genesis 8, it's right after the flood, when Noah and his family eventually leave the ark, and God is renewing his promise. Just like the rain stopped in the flood, and the flood waters eventually went away. It probably felt like they never would go away. The seasons are going to change, and God says they're going to keep changing regularly. So you can hang in there. It's not going to be like this forever. It won't feel like this forever. You can trust God because things are bound to change. There's a reason for this season. There is an end to this season. And here's the last thing, students, that will help you get ready to move forward during this season. Number 3, there's a work to do in this season. There's a work that you and I need to be doing right now for the kingdom of God. A lot of folks during the last few months, they've taken this time off from God instead of drawing close to God and learning more about Him. Many of us, and I've been tempted as well, we've kind of given up. We've kind of, we begin to think there's no way that I could ever reach anybody right now because things are so crazy. But if there was ever a time in history that we could reach people for Jesus Christ, it's right now. The Chinese word for crisis, the characters can be translated into English as dangerous opportunity. Students, there's a golden opportunity to reach people for Christ right now. Sure, a lot of people have stopped going to church. Yes, a lot of folks have drifted away from God. But at the same time, I've never been asked more spiritual questions by folks in my life. Over the last few months, people are asking me all kinds of things. They're wondering, is this the end of the world? People are wondering, where in the world's God in all this? And now's not the time to shrink back. It's now or never. I don't know if you like fishing or not. I'm not a good fisherman at all, but I know that people that love to fish and are good at fish, they fish all the time. When I used to work at a church in Lake Village, one particular January morning, as I was leaving my house on the north side of the lake and heading to church, it was absolutely cold. I mean, there was ice everywhere. I wondered why were we even having church? I didn't feel like going. It was dreary and gross. And as I'm driving to church, having a pity party, going, why are we going today? And all this stuff. It's so cold. I look out to my left on the lake, and in the middle of sleet, okay, and terrible conditions, I see a boat, and I see 2 people on the boat, and both people are wearing raincoats. And you know what they're doing on the boat? They're fishing. And I realized that if you love something, you'll do it no matter the conditions. That if you're determined, you're going to do it. You're not going to make excuses. You're going to get out there, you're going to suck it up, and you're going to do it. Listen, students, we love Jesus. I hope you love Jesus. And if He gave us this mission to reach people, we've got to reach people. And we need to do it, especially when things are tough. This is an opportune time to reach people for Jesus Christ. We don't need to believe the lie that we just need to time out on our own faith and time out on sharing our faith right now. If there was ever a time we needed to share our faith, it's today. And we need to do it. There's a work to be done in this season. 2 Timothy 4:2, look at what the Apostle Paul says to the young Timothy. He says, preach the word and be ready in season and out of season. Students, there's never an off season for us who follow Christ, and we're fishers of men. Ask God to show you opportunities and creative ways to connect with your friends and to share your faith in Jesus with them, to love them in the name of Jesus. This needs to happen way before we completely open up our church buildings, because the church isn't a building anyway. What if you connected to a friend who doesn't know Christ and you tried to build a relationship with him? What if you loved on somebody in a creative way, somebody who's hurting? You never know what God may do. God wants to do more through you, students, right now than you're dreaming of and asking about and imagining. So let's get to it. There's work to be done now. Students, thank you so much for taking the time to watch tonight. I hope this message has encouraged you to trust God during this season of your life and to look at the opportunities before you to share about your faith in Jesus or to get to know Him better. If you have any questions about this message, or if you've got questions on how maybe you've drifted from God, how do I come back to God? Or maybe you've never really accepted Christ, email me on the screen or text me at my number. Most of you guys have my number. We'd love to see your family at church this Sunday at 10:30 a.m. at the FBC main building. You'll need to make reservations if you're going to come on Sunday morning. You can do that before this Friday at noon, and we will send you the link to do that tomorrow through Remind. We're also meeting this Sunday night at 7 p.m. We're calling our Sunday night services Ignite because we think God's doing something brand new. He's starting something new. Cody Van Syke from Geyer Springs First Baptist Church will be here, and he was scheduled to be our worship pastor at Camp U. And we didn't get to go to Camp U, so I'm bringing him in, and he's going to lead us in a time of worship where we're going to just gather together and just worship the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And we'll learn a little bit about God's Word as well. Hey guys, love you very much. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you this Sunday morning for church and also at Ignite. Until then, God bless you guys.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. So, hey, MC, Zane, what's your big takeaway from that message? What did you get out of it? The biggest thing that stuck out to you?
My biggest takeaway was probably that there's an end to this season. I feel like it's gone on so long. We just thought that Corona was going to be a 2-week spring break, but then it turned into a lot more than that. So honestly, during this time, it's been kind of overwhelming for me because I've thought, oh my gosh, is this ever going to end? But the reality is, nothing lasts forever other than our eternal salvation and Jesus' love. Whoop whoop for that. But this season is going to end. We don't know exactly when that is, but there is going to be an end to it. So we can have hope in that things are going to change, things will get better someday, and, everything will be okay because we have Jesus on our side. And, when things are unsteady, He is constant. So, that's just kind of what I got from that.
Okay. Zane, what about you? What's your biggest takeaway that you had from the message tonight?
Well, my biggest takeaway is that God can use the season to make you grow, right?
Yeah.
Like coronavirus, we have all this spare time to grow, basically, to get better at something, to take some time, relax, work on your mental health, hang out with your family. It's taking a lot of distractions out of the way. But definitely that God uses seasons to grow you, spiritually and physically. Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't believe it, but when you're preparing a message as a preacher, minister, whatever, a lot of times God speaks to you way, way before you ever turn around and speak to other people. And for me personally, that third point about there is a work to do in this season is the most convicting for just me personally, because, we can all make excuses for not coming to church. We can all make excuses for not doing what God's telling us to do. So, and it's tempting to make those. And now is a really good opportunity. I think, God's doing some uprooting right now, and He's doing some pruning, trimming back. But those are because He's going to bring some fruit down the road. So, but we don't have to wait till those days to do the work and to keep growing in our own faith, but also sharing our faith with others. Anything else you guys want to share before we go? It's okay if you don't. We haven't rehearsed this, so we have no idea. Any final words you want to say to everybody tonight? MC, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to mention I truly miss y'all. I really want to see y'all at Ignite. It is truly a good time, and it is you will enjoy it more than you know. And I also just want to encourage you something, this is just kind of off topic, but it's something that has really been impacting my faith lately, and I just wanted to share it with y'all. I feel like it's really important to let Jesus love you. Of course, he loves you no matter what, but let yourself embrace his love. I just realized the other day that I hadn't been letting him love me. So I hadn't been truly absorbing just his goodness and the way he feels towards me. So and also another thing is, Jesus isn't mad at you. He wants to embrace you. He wants to, don't feel like you are too guilty or you need to be ashamed. You need to be like you're not worthy enough to walk up to the throne of the Lord. Honey, he loves you. He loves you so much, and he desires for you to come to him, and you don't have to go all the way. He wants to meet you. He wants to meet you where you are. He just wants to love on you. And anyways,
in Hebrews it says you can approach the throne of grace with confidence. You can, boldly. Zane, final words for tonight.
Well, I just want to invite everybody to Sunday night. Please come out. Invite everybody that you can. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Cody's going to be there. We're going to be worshiping. I'm pumped for it, but
me too. Woo!
Yeah. But let's talk about how winter, right?
Dadgummit.
Still the best season.
Spring.
Still the best season.
Spring.
Please type winter in the chat.
Oh boy.
Give winter some love.
With that, I will
love.
tell you guys again, thank you for watching. It means a lot to see that a lot of you guys watched tonight. So thank you for that. It was definitely one of our better nights. You can also share this with other people. So do that. Share the link. Get other people to watch. And let's start inviting people. And let's get back to church.
Let's
do it. I will see you guys Sunday morning if you can. But if for sure, Sunday night, Ignite, 7 o'clock. I love you guys. Vincent, if you'll put the Ignite graphic up and close us out. We'll see you guys later. I love y'all. God bless.
Bye, guys.